Hey guys, day 17. The front section of hardwood floors is done. When I got to here, I was thinking what I was going to do on the edge, if I was going to do a trim piece or if I wanted to actually push these pieces flush. What I decided to do is leave a 1 inch by 3/4 inch gap. And what I'm going to do is use this, basically this path right here. And this is where I was going to the boards. That's as far as the boards went without having to cut them, which is pretty much perfect for running wire. I'm going to run my electrical right through there, right through here, and then through this section, and then it'll go up in through the insulation to an outlet, and it'll keep on running up to another outlet, and then keep on running back to whatever else I want to run it to, and then after that I'll cap it off. I'm gonna cap this with like a nice trim, not the same woods, a different wood, maybe like a darker wood right there for a nice trim around the steps. And that will look perfect, and then this will be great, and then it'll also make it so if I ever have to get to my electrical stuff, I don't have to rip through the walls or pull out the walls. I can just come right here and pull, take off like an access strip that I'll make out of hardwood, and I'll have my wires insulated running right there inside the bus. I'm also going to do something like this for any little plumbing I have, so all the plumbing is insulated and it's inside the bus, so I don't have any issues with heat in the winter time. But yeah, so that worked out good. This right here, I kind of just cut it out really quick. That's the fuel pump. I didn't cut it out the full size. The full size is actually the size of that wood. I just cut it out big enough so in case I have a problem and I have to go in there and pull out that fuel pump, that whole cap has to be able to pull straight out. That way I can get the whole pump out. So that's big enough to do that. And then I left this edge because I'm gonna put insulation down. So I wanted to have some support. So I'm gonna put build like a little hatch. It's gonna be like wood right here that's going to be flush with the hardwood floor, and then insulation, and then like a nice cover to it with like maybe a little handle, and it'll have hinges on it on one of these sides, this side. And it'll just open it up with hinges. I can get to it, and when I'm not using it, I can close it, and it'll be fully insulated, and it'll look nice. So that's what I'm doing with that hatch. I had just enough Siberian larch to do this front section right here. So what I did is basically, as I was going, I was just letting them stagger off the back piece, just letting them go as far as it went, and then they were pretty much, they weren't going really far, just like 4 or 5 inches out, and they were kind of like staggered. And the same thing with right here. And then I'm just gonna take the saw. I already did it, but as a rough cut. But I'm gonna do it again. So I took the saw, and then after I put all my nails along one straight line where I wanted them to be, I just took a saw and cut a straight line, and then took a saw right here and cut a straight line. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because this section right here where I have it taped off is going to be the kitchen counter. So this is I wanted like that because it's gonna be framed off right here. And then there'll be a piece of trim going from the kitchen counter over the hardwood floor. So it'll be a nice straight piece of trim, And then this right here is going to be like a joining trim almost. And that's where the other hardwood floors are going to start, right there. Now, yeah, so, I'm still debating on what I wanted to do right there. I was thinking about leaving them staggered and then kind of blending the other hardwood floor in. But those tongues on that hardwood floor are thicker than the grooves can accept on this hardwood floor. So I would have had to go, I could have done it because it's the same thickness, but I would have had to go onto every one of them and sand it down, and then so the tongue fit in there, and I just didn't feel like bothering it. So I just cut a straight line. I'll put like a nice joining trim over it, and that'll be that. And then I'll feel better because both of these woods are gonna expand and contract at certain rates, because that's a lot harder wood than this is. So this will be its own section, and that'll be its own section back there. Yeah, I mean, it came out really nice. It's solid, which I'm happy about it. You see I'm walking on it now. It's solid. So there was not one part that was wavy that I had to nail down to the floor or it didn't stay. This laid perfectly flat. So I'm very confident that this floor is good to go for as long as the bus is around. I didn't have to jam anything or bend anything or pry anything. It just laid perfectly flat. And I countersunk hardwood for like finishing nails. You can't see them; they're like impossible to see. But what I basically did is like drilled a hole slightly smaller than the nails, because those really little thin finishing nails, they bend really easy. It's almost impossible to hammer them through hardwood floor. So I pre-drilled the holes slightly smaller than the nails, and almost all the way through the board, but not fully through. I left like an eighth of an inch of wood that I didn't drill through. That way, when the nail slid through gently, I can hammer it through the wood and still get a nice tight snug thing. And then once the nail was flush with the top of the floor, I used right here. I used get yourself a set of these if you're gonna do it. They have like it's kind of hard to see. It's so bright in here. But there's like a little groove in the top, and you can countersink your nails. You just put this on the head once you get it flush, give it one nice whack with the hammer, and it'll push the nail like a 1/16 of an inch underneath the floor. That way I can go across the floor with a sander and not have to worry about ripping the bottom of the wheel out of the belt sander or whatever type of sander you're going to use. If you're going to sand the floors, you have to countersink them. Otherwise you'll just destroy your sanding machine. So this comes in a pack of 3 of these at Walmart for like $4, and they're pretty decent quality. I mean, they were solid when I used them. Yeah, so I had just enough wood. That's all I have left of the Siberian larch right there, and those are already cut to like fit like little blocks in here and there. So some areas I needed to make the seams stagger more. I wanted like that more of a staggered look, so I took good boards and I just cut them in half or whatever I had to do and just pieced them in there, so I would get that nice stagger. Shit. Yeah, but sorry about the brightness, but yeah, it came out trying to get in, and I can't see if you can see it or not because it's so bright in here. Yeah. What else was I gonna say? Alright, so yeah, I have to basically insulate the walls and stuff now. So what I'm going to do is clean up really quick. I'm going to transfer all that stuff back over here again. Like all that stuff has been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to finish this project. I mean, it looks like a lot of stuff, but it really isn't. A lot of that's garbage at this point. But yeah, I'm going to clean up this area. I'm going to transfer all of that back over here. Kind of like leave it in the middle, really nice and neat, so I can find all my stuff. That way I don't have to move it again. I can build the walls and then, you know, do that hardwood floor, build those walls at the same time. And then after that, after that I start actually building. But yeah, so I'm going to try to so I'm going to start those hardwood floors now. I that same thing I did right there for the kitchen counter, I have to do on the back side of that wheel well for the shower base, so I don't lose any headroom. But I'm going to try to figure that exactly how I'm going to do that now. I got an idea in my head. I just haven't really thought about it because I wasn't at that point yet. But I'm there now, so I'll figure it out and I'll let you know in the next video. But yeah, it came out good, happy with it. Gonna build a hatch right now, make a nice little hatch with any extra insulation I have in hardwood floors or whatever. I have a couple of nice little handles that I can put on it, and that's it. Thanks.